Well, good day, third grade parents. This announcement is for May 11th, the last 2 days of school. This has some important information for you. Um, so let's see, I'm going to start with just going over some encouragement for you for this summer. I'm so thankful that you have entrusted your children to me this year to teach your child and to enroll your child in a Christian school. I want us to all be reminded of Deuteronomy 11:15 that tells us as parents that we are to teach our children about the Lord, that we are to teach our children about God's commandments for how to live our lives and to remember the things that God has done as recorded in the Bible, and that we are to teach our children while we're sitting in our house, while we're taking our walks, while we're laying down and resting, and when we rise up and get up and do things, to continuously tell our children about the Lord. And there's so much for them to remember from what they've learned in the school year and to help you go through, even going over Hebrews 11 over the summer from the verses that they memorized, keeping that in their minds. All right, the first thing I want to go over with you is the schedule for this week. You do not have to, it is not required to complete all of the work that you have. You only are required to complete the work from Monday and Tuesday. So I want to share screen the schedule with you. This schedule was emailed to you. Check your email again. Schedule was emailed to you last Saturday when you received last week's work as well. You could look at these again today and tomorrow. I deleted what you see at home for English. I mistakenly had those KUs on there. Those are not required. For English, all I want you to make sure you're finishing is the coronavirus journal, and if you still have the resurrection object activity. Those two items are big test grades. We did those in place of the writing units that may have been frustrating for some to do at home. So please make sure you turn those in on Wednesday. For Bible, the last verse, Hebrews 11:40, I know that some are going to be feeling very much accomplished after memorizing that verse. For math, you only have Monday and Tuesday. You'll notice that the colorful sheets are just pages 331 for today, 333 for tomorrow, and then there's homework pages for each. And you can see those page numbers. There's a lot of addition and subtraction. Assign odds or evens. You know your child best. I'm just grading the homework pages. Just make sure you don't skip word problems, okay? Your challenge is the math test. That is not a requirement. You can challenge your student to take that math test. You'll notice that there's 2 more lessons in math before the test. They have learned all of the lessons. Yes, there's a review lesson, but at this point, they could go ahead and take that decimal test if you want to challenge them to do so. With reading, the only lesson that we have left for reading is the story called Saved. I would challenge you, if you wanted for your child to read Philippi, that is the actual biblical account of Acts 16 about Paul. Saved, we're going to go over that today. And tomorrow, that is a biblical biblical fiction based on that story, Philippi. That's the real account from the Bible. So please just notice, Saved is the required reading for this week, none of the other worksheets. Heritage Studies, the only thing from today and tomorrow that I will actually need to grade is the Map Skills 30 that you see there for Monday, and that is it. If you want to challenge your child to finish that history book for 3rd grade, then you could be challenged to do worksheet 6 and quiz 15. All of these challenges will be included as extra credit as well if you choose to do those. You'll see on this daily schedule for health what is required for health this week. Today it is worksheet 4, and which you could just discuss that written, or if you want to just discuss it verbally with your child. And quiz 6, worksheet 4 and quiz 6. And you have another challenge for health. If you want to challenge your child to complete that through the end of the week, that would include the test 3. So with that being said, all of those challenges, some of your children will want to complete that. If they want to and you don't think you'd be finished by Wednesday, for the challenges and extra credit, I would receive them up to Friday. And you could contact me for how I would get those, okay? And so now I want us to also take a look at this letter that was sent to you or sent home with you on Wednesday. You'll notice the list of what I need you to bring on Wednesday. So you'll see for the books that we need back that you would be charged a fee if you don't return is the reading textbook, that big orange colored reading textbook, and the Bible reader, which is a short, looks like a little chapter book. It's the Bible reader. And then also library books. We have a couple 3rd grade library books that have not been returned yet. Please return all borrowed classroom books that you may have used to read at home. And then math, the math manipulatives. You have a couple packs that I had sent home. Some of you still have the measurement pack, which was the ruler, the thermometer paper, the meter tape. You have the place value packet, which has some place mats for the place values and the big 100 squares, the 10 strips, and the little 1 squares. And then you have the decimal pack, which was the pocket chart and the baggies of numbers. So please make sure you return those Wednesday. The blue folder for keeping up, that is something that needs to be returned, that folder. If you still have any of the boxes of flashcards, please return those. Dry erase boards. Don't worry if some pieces have broken off of some of those. I know they're not as durable as we might like, so it's fine if some of the magnets came off or the black strip around the board, that's fine, don't worry about that. I don't need the dry erase markers back, however you've used them, that's good. If you still have any watercolors, if you still have resurrection eggs, I gave 3 of those out for those who had sent pictures. 1 has not been returned, so please return that. Any of the little resurrection, a couple people were awarded with the resurrection little booklet pamphlet. Please return that if I didn't make that clear that that was borrowed. All of your completed work from last Wednesday through this Tuesday. And again, look at that daily schedule to know what is actually required. And then all of the quizzes and tests, regardless if you're taking the ones for extra credit or a challenge, please return them blank if you're not going to use those, just for test security purposes for the school. And that is it with that. If I missed any of that, I'm going to stop this share screen. If I missed anything on the list or you have any questions, please let me know. As far as Zoom, we'll have Zoom today at 11 o'clock, math. We're not going to have Zoom Wednesday because that just hasn't worked out in the classroom with the Wi-Fi. So Zoom today for math. And then I would like to schedule a Zoom on Thursday, 11 o'clock for our class poem reading. So that day we would be able to just recite Hebrews 11:39-40 together as a class overall grade for that last verse. And then I will send some text messages about the poem reading. For those of you who didn't purchase a book, that is okay. I will email you a copy of your child's poem if you don't have that at home already, and your child could still read their poem as part of our class poem reading that we will have together. I want to make a video for it, and I will show the book on my screen, but I'm going to have the last names blacked out for security purposes, and of course permission from everybody if you want the video on YouTube public, or the video can just be private for just our class members to be texted the link, so we can discuss that more as well. All right, well that's it, 3rd grade. I am just so impressed at what awesome parents you are and how much you have helped your children to make sure that they completed the 3rd grade, ready for 4th grade. You have completed by Tuesday all of the math, reading, and English to be ready for 3rd grade. And then your challenge, if you want the history and help, those books are for you to keep. They've written in them. You could continue to do those over the summer if you did not finish. Know that I will also be sending home a math packet that is a review of the whole year that you could use over the summer as well. Don't forget that you can still purchase yearbooks. They are $38 that you could go to the office to purchase. And if you still want the vacation station, ooh, I think that was already due the 8th or 10th, but we can find out about that too. All right, well, I hope that you have a great rest of your 2 days of third grade. Thank you so much.